Welcome to the first episode of the Bets and Brews Club podcast. We are starting this new podcast. I'm Frills, your host, and we're doing a podcast using. We're going to talk a lot about betting on sports. We're going to talk a lot about sports, and we're also going to talk about beers and the beers that we prefer and what we like and stuff that are from our regions. I am currently living in Minnesota. My co-host, who I'd like to introduce you guys to, is Jeanette, and she currently resides in the betting capital of the world, Las Vegas.
Hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm from California originally, and I live in Las Vegas. I love sports betting. I love sports betting, and I love drinking beer.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
All right.
As our slogan says for this podcast, is life is a little bit more interesting with some action. So
Yeah, definitely.
This podcast could go through a lot of stuff. It might not always be on track, but we will definitely hit all areas of sports. We will hit from boxing to MMA to NHL to baseball to NFL and definitely college football. So we will definitely be hitting every sport. If you are a sports fan, we will touch your sport. I guarantee it. Unless you're a soccer fan, well, maybe Jeanette can chime in on soccer. I don't know a ton. So, and I don't gamble soccer, so I don't know much there. But maybe she can help you out with that. Um,
We will be doing some soccer betting. Just
all
a
right.
little.
All right. I like it. Um, Being a gambling podcast, like we definitely want to be transparent because a lot of place or podcasts aren't transparent with who their affiliations are with, like who their loyalties are to as far as their sports teams. Because if we give you any advice on anything or you take any of what we say about any of teams that are our teams, we want you to know that there could be an unconscious bias. So I'll go down my list. It's pretty guess complicated actually when you really look at it. But um as far as we'll go with football first. NFL, I'm a Vikings fan. NCAA football, I follow the Oregon Ducks, have since I was a little child. um NHL, Las Vegas Knights fan. Obviously love the Vegas born. As you can see in the background, I got Silver Knights and Las Vegas Knights in the background. um and also baseball, Minnesota Twins, and then basketball, which we won't talk about my team too often because I won't bet on my team too often, but the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jeanette, what you got?
I am a huge hardcore Broncos fan. I also am a hardcore Dodgers fan. I follow the Lakers. Um, I follow the Lakers. I love the Golden Knights. I also tend to watch the Predators and root for them. And I also follow the LA Kings. The Capitals, I feel like they're an exciting team to watch. As far as college, um, I am big on overs. So I like teams that can put up a lot of points or matchups that can put up a lot of points. So that is what I look for. Um, I do follow Wisconsin. Go Badgers. I like them.
I think that's so crazy. Like I live in the state right next door to the Badgers, and she lives in Vegas, and hers is the Wisconsin Badgers, like of all places.
Yes, and I do follow the Rebels, UNLV,
Go
which,
Rebs.
yes, they did very well today. They put up a lot of points. It was a really good game. Um, I hopefully they can keep it going. I'm excited to watch them this year. I what is left? I'm a huge boxing fan. I follow Canelo Alvarez. Um, I follow I follow so many boxers, so that we're just gonna have to get to the matchups. Um,
I was gonna say, who's your favorite though? Like, where could you be influenced? Like, this guy's boxing, and like he might not necessarily be who you think is gonna win, but like your heart might kind of push you towards
I
thinking
don't
he's gonna win.
know. I don't think I have that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe later down the road you can tell me if I have that. But
All right,
but I follow
challenge accepted.
yes, Errol Spence Jr. I love him. I think he had a really bad car accident. Um and he had to have some reconstructive work. I wasn't sure if he was going to be the same, but he is crazy, vicious. He has a fight coming up against Terrence Crawford. I'm super excited. I'm going to need more than beer that day just to be able to calm my nerves because I'm so excited about this fight. You don't even understand. It's a really good matchup. Terrence Crawford is a very technical fighter. He can adjust very well. He can adjust between rounds. Errol Spence is just he's just crazy though. He's just an executioner. He really damages the past fighters that he's fought against, like corneas, like to the point where they have to have surgery, you know? So I just love him so much. But but you'll be able to tell me, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, work in progress on that one. We'll
Right?
figure it out.
Yes. But I think that's it. I don't know if I missed any more for I guess for college hoops, it just depends because from that I don't really have a favorite. For me, that's just betting. That's just what who I think is gonna cover or
So you're not
we'll get
partial.
to yeah,
You're not
no.
partial to UNLV at all.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you'll be able to tell me.
All right, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
College basketball, I love my Oregon Ducks for everything, to be honest with you. And then obviously Gonzaga.
Uh-huh.
I love Gonzaga like beforehand and like working on Vegas Strip at undisclosed location that Jeanette has worked at as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
We get a lot of Gonzaga fans during the conference tournament time, so it was always awesome. They're always really nice, really well behaved. So shout out to Washington for that.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I think we've disclosed as much as I think we need to. You guys can make your own decisions on how you feel like we're talking. Like you guys will be able to figure out if we have biases too, like if we haven't disclosed them. So um Jeanette says all figured out with her when it comes to fighters. You'll figure it out just as easily as me. So um but yeah, we have a game going on right now, Jeanette. It is your team, the Denver Broncos, playing their backups. Actually, now we're on third strings versus my
Yes.
team playing the Vikings, all backups. Right now it's 17-13. Any
Vikings
thoughts?
driving. No, I still think that we're gonna win. We'll just see. Hopefully, we can get another touchdown from somebody. Um, but
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Like just watching this, like there was a wide open wide receiver right in his hands. He dropped it. So that guy's not making the team. So because it's that day. It's cut day. Um yeah, I think you guys probably pull it out too. The Vikings look terrible during this. There's been some bright spots, but it's been rough. But bringing that up, this is something I wanted to talk about is betting preseason football. Some people say there's value in it. Some people say there's zero value in it, and it's a crapshoot. Like, what do you think?
I actually like betting on preseason. I I find value in it. Um, I think the coaches um, are very upfront on who they're gonna play or what their game plan is like, and I think you can feel whether the starters are gonna show up at all, whether there's going to be any scoring. For example, last week with my team, um, we were playing the Bills, and just right off the bat, they said they were going to play their starters. It was going to be a dress rehearsal. We were gonna play all our backups. I knew we were gonna get lit up. It was great. Um,
Especially
this
because
is
you love the
preseason.
over.
Yes, that is why. My over was 42. The Bills scored 42 on their own. So I got my over fast. I think that was one of my, even though, it's just preseason, so I don't care. We got lit up, but I hit my over, so I'm happy. Um, and then tomorrow, which when this airs, it should already have passed, maybe, but tomorrow the Jets, I like that matchup. I think that over will hit. So we'll see.
Who the Jets have tomorrow? I didn't actually look at
Um,
that one.
the Jets are playing the Giants.
It's going to be all backups, from my understanding.
Yes, yes, it is. But I do think that, I mean, Joe Flacco, I think that he should be in tomorrow's game. I think that's what I understood that they would. So I like that over for sure. I think even though it's going to be backups, think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good competitive game. The over, I got it from Station Sports. That's who I usually bet through. The over was 38.5. So I like that over. I think it's going to be easy for them to cover. I am leaning more towards the Jets taking that game, but um, we'll see. Last week they played really well. I thought so. So I think they'll do well tomorrow.
I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what FanDuel's line is on that. So FanDuel has, let's see what they have. So right now they have 4.5 Jets favored. Negative 110. The matchup, I'm trying to find the over under on this. Like I'm still working the site. Over under is 38.5. So yeah.
It's the same. Yeah.
Yep. So exact same. So I have to like that. Like 38.5. Like even the like honestly, the game that I'm watching right now is, no offense to both of our teams, is a terrible game right now.
Yeah.
And we're still at 30. Like, so
Yeah.
with 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I mean 38.5 in that game, I could totally see that. So
Yeah. I mean,
yep.
the Jets played with, I think it was their backups last week and they clipped the Falcons, so I really feel like they'll put up a lot of points in this game. And we'll see. Zach Wilson, I know that he went down with an injury in the
Mhm.
preseason opener. So I think Joe Flacco's gonna have to deliver, and this is gonna be his time to shine. So um we'll see. But
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like that one a lot. I like that over.
I Oh, that's one bias that Jeanette should have like really made in her teams, is that she loves the overs. But
Oh yes, that is my thing. I
but
do.
I do like that over too. Like with those two teams and like guys trying to make the team, I think it's gonna be ugly, but I think it's gonna hit the over. I actually don't even mind the Jets covering, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, but um it's preseason football, so we'll see. But
Yes. I
that's
think I think that the Jets are gonna play some of their starters the first quarter for sure. That's what I think that's gonna happen. And I do feel like they're even third and fourth strings, I think that they can still score. I think we can get points from them.
well, that's what's been crazy this year is I some of these teams aren't playing their starter any game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Tom played tonight, but it's Kirk Cousins doesn't play a single game. Like Russell
Yeah.
Wilson doesn't play a single game. Also
Yeah.
shows how Tom's much tougher than these guys, I feel like,
Yeah.
or more
I
of a
cannot
gamer.
wait though. I cannot wait until the first game.
Oh, it's coming.
I know. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see Wilson out in a Broncos suit.
It will be interesting to see. He's been
Yeah.
in that blue and bright green for so long.
Yes. He promises a Super Bowl though, so I'm going with that.
He promised his first wife they'd be together forever, but
Oh, that's kind of low.
shots fired.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, you
Well,
also didn't tell them that we will be drinking while we're recording, so
I thought it was implied by the name of the podcast, but maybe not. See,
yeah, so
beer.
yes. Yes, so we're very big on beer, so we're gonna try different beers and tell you about our favorite beers, what we're drinking at the time. For me, it changes. Does it change for you? Because for me, the different seasons or I don't know.
No, absolutely right. I have a go-to like just vanilla beer that it's not vanilla flavored, but like just a domestic like that. Since I tend to drink a little bit more than maybe I should, I'll go to that on like not special nights or not special times. But um, yeah, I definitely switch it up with all. I'm not a big porter fan. Um, not something I go with too often. But yeah, I do like to switch it up, especially seasonally,
Mhm.
because seasonally there's different beers taste better in different
Yeah.
weather. So
Yes. Or for like Super Bowl. Super Bowls, for some reason, I tend to drink maybe like the 805s, Blue Moons. I don't know, it just depends. And then for hockey, all I want to drink is Budweiser. So I don't know what it is.
it's so Mexican of you.
I
I
know. I know. It's crazy. But I also like Guinness. Do you like
do like
Guinness?
Guinness. I definitely like Guinness. I've heard it's way better in Ireland though.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
for sure.
actually go to Ireland, especially go to Guinness, and
Mhm.
it's insane. Like
Yeah,
ABV's higher. Like it's just flat a better beer that over there.
I
Here
bet.
it's watered down a little bit, but yeah,
Yes.
no, big fan of Guinness. Absolutely. I also um like some oatmeal stouts too.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good, but I digress.
Yeah. I like Big Wave, the Hawaiian beer. I like that. I like rum also. Um when we went to Hawaii, that's all I was looking for, rum. I wanted to try their best rum. I wanted to find the best rum, bring some bottles back. That's all I kept thinking about. So the first 3 days, that's all. We went for, I believe it was between 7 and 10 days. I think it was maybe 8 or 9. I can't remember for sure. But so we went to 3 different places. We split up our trip, and that's all I kept looking for, the best rum, the best rum. On my fifth day, the bartender, he was actually the bartender of the resort we were staying, and he was like, well, I don't have that rum that you're looking for, but can I pour you a good beer, a good local beer? I was like, yeah, for sure. Oh my God, it was so good. So then my whole world just changed. I was not looking for my rum anymore. Then I was trying to get the best beer. So I wish I would have done that since the beginning, because we had
Right.
already left. I think we were, I forgot where we were the second time. Maybe it was Waikiki, but yeah, but I had already messed up. I should have looked for beer since the jump. I feel like I could have gotten so many different types. But definitely it tastes different. Um, for example, when I've gone to Mexico before, I didn't know that there was a difference in the taste of beer. So before I used to drink a lot of Corona, and then I went to Mexico, and my cousin was like, No, you can't drink Corona here. You gotta drink Sol. I don't know if you've ever tried it. SOL,
I
Sol.
have. I have.
Yeah, I bet you
Yep,
have.
I have.
Yes, but so Sol. So here, you would never think, I would never recommend for somebody to drink Sol. You know, if they said, give me a good Mexican beer, I would never say Sol. So we went, that's what we were, that's what he got. Oh my God, the taste was so good. It was so delicious. I loved it. And then you come back here trying to get the same type and it's completely different. This was maybe about 10 years ago. And then about 6 months ago, we went to another state in Mexico and we drank Victoria.
Oh,
Victoria.
I've had
Um,
Victoria.
yes, but over there it's so much better.
I
We
believe
went
that.
to, yeah, we went to Zacatecas. That's the name of the state in Mexico, and it was so good. It was so good. It was the best. I cannot. And then we get back here, and I try to buy it. It's not the same. So I don't know what that's about, but it's crazy. It was really good though.
That's how it works. Like I said, Guinness is better in Ireland. It's
Yeah.
it's so where it comes from is usually better. From what I understand in Mexico, like one of the most drank, like they don't drink Corona all that much in Mexico.
No, they
If
don't.
I understand this
Yeah.
correctly, yeah, it's a Bud Light heavy. I
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's really it's wild. Like when you go other places, especially to drink their beers, like yeah, you did waste a little bit of time on the rum situation in Hawaii.
I did. I felt like such a failure. Oh my God. But I did find one that was really good. It was called Lahaina. So LA apostrophe HAINA. It was dark rum, and it's
Yeah,
really, yeah, it's really good. I don't know if you can get it from, I didn't research it, but it was a really good rum.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it is your time to shine. I want you to talk about a little MMA, what we had
Okay.
happen, and
Okay. So everybody has to know what happened with the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman. It was a crazy knockout. I think it was 4 minutes, maybe I'm not sure if 4 or 8 seconds into the last and fifth round, and then just gets knocked out cold by Edwards. They fought in Salt Lake City, Utah. Edwards goes by the nickname Rocky, so the whole crowd just went crazy, chanting Rocky. Which, oh my God, it was such a crazy moment because Usman just seemed like he was invincible. He just seemed like you we weren't going to find somebody to beat him, especially knock him out the way that he got knocked out. um I mean, he had to be taken to the hospital. They were very concerned for his health. It was just a crazy knockout. um and yeah, that's pretty much, that was the highlight. That's the big upset. He was ranked number one in welterweight for UFC rankings, and then ranked number four, I believe, for pound in UFC rankings. So that was crazy. It's a really big nightmare for him. We'll see. Hopefully he recovers well. I know that they said that he was recovered, but I know things like that, especially when you get knocked out, it does take a few months maybe, and then we'll see if he was able to absorb it and come back from that. And we'll see what we get back from him. But yeah, that was something that was really good.
so with that said, with the match, because I did not watch this match, like
Uh-huh.
as you guys should know, like Jeanette's going to be the main person on MMA and boxing. Like I like boxing more than MMA, so I will watch more of that. But MMA, I'm pretty in the dark on. But was it a decent match throughout, or was it one sided, or a surprise knockout, or like how did it go? I guess
No,
match wise.
I think it was a really good matchup. I think they both I think it was a really good matchup. I think it was a good fight. I think that's why it was so crazy that he got knocked out like that. because I I thought that it was going to go to decision. I really did think that.
So he
I just
just caught him. He just
yeah, like
caught
you
him.
just caught him crazy. Like it was so that was just so crazy. I didn't expect for that to happen. I was scared that, well, not scared, but I just thought that Usman was going to be able to catch him, you know? And
Right.
then everything just went so sideways for him.
That's wild. That's what I love about boxing too. Like you have a guy getting his ass kicked, but if he catches you, like
Yes, everything can change in a second.
yep.
Boxing is crazy. I love boxing.
I definitely have a passion for boxing. I really don't have much for MMA, but
Yeah.
but we're
I,
definitely gonna cover it. So
yes, I used to be that way. I hated UFC. I thought, no, I wasn't gonna do that. I felt like it was just a bunch of wrestling. And, I like wrestling, but I thought them, the whole grapple, like just, kind of wrestling down the floor, turning, I just didn't find it interesting at first. And then later on I did start liking it. I do like how the different techniques and how the matchups. I think the different matchups are what's really good. For example, Ronda Rousey. I just never liked Ronda too much. I really thought that she was overrated, and there was so much hype around it. I couldn't get into it. And then once she went down, and then we saw girls like Cyborg come out, like, whoa. Yeah, that was crazy, like it's a whole different world. So I do like UFC now. I enjoy it.
Ronda was a different world too. Like
Yeah.
Ronda definitely was like I don't want to take anything away from her because like I didn't think she was that great, but what she did for the sport was she
Yes.
brought a ton of exposure and
Yes, she did.
brought women up like in that division. So I gotta give her all the credit in the world for that. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. She did.
but let's move on. So we already kind of talked about beer a little bit, but
Hmm.
let's talk about our featured beers for the day.
Okay.
Do you
Well,
want to start or do you want me to go first?
I can start. So
Go
I
for
already drank mine, so I'm gonna get a second one. But this is my feature beer. So it's Negra Modelo or Modelo Negra. So I like it preparada style. So I like it with if you want to say maybe like clamato, I like shrimp juice in it. Some Worcestershire sauce, um, some. I don't like Tabasco, not even in my Bloody Marys, but I like either a little bit of Tapatio or some Cholula, and then lime and tahini. And like I said, I already drank it, but I'll show you guys a new one, a new preparada in a
it.
minute or two.
Actually, like I can go over mine if you want to go make yourself one.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll be
All
right
right.
back. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna go to my cooler. This is rocking the cooler for this podcast. And my beer of choice tonight is from Modest Brewing Company. This is a Dream Yard. So this is a hazy IPA. It's it's definitely hop heavy. But it has really smooth finish because with the hazy IPA, it just has that almost I don't want to overspeak it, but like kind of like milky texture in a way. Like it just kind of like it flows easier. It's not as bitter as a typical IPA. So really solid beer. Comes out of let me check the area of Minnesota it comes out of. It is it's actually a New England IPA, and it actually is brewed in Minneapolis. So um that is my featured beer. It's a Minnesota beer. As I already said, so I'm repeating myself at this point. But it's definitely one of my favorite beers that I've had here. Um, so if you're ever out in Minnesota, definitely check it out. It's not sold nationwide. Um, it is a small brewery, so definitely if you're in Minnesota, check that beer out, especially if you like hazy IPAs. Also, I'm going to throw a shout out while we wait for Jeanette to show her beer. This might be the greatest invention to anyone who drinks tall cans. Yeti makes a tall can koozie, and your beer will stay cold for at least 4 hours. It's insane. It's almost like magic. So I highly recommend. Like, I'm not. We're not sponsored by Yeti or anything, so it's not a push or anything. Um, but Yeti can koozies, if you drink canned beer, especially, and if you're in warm areas, Yeti can koozies. It's the way to go. Like your beer stays cold for a long time. So, um, that's kind of my speech on Yeti. They make 12-ounce and 16-ounce ones. I use 16-ounce because most of the beers I drink are 16-ounce. But yeah, Yeti can koozies. Check them out. Go grab one. Is if you try one, you will use it for the rest of like. You might have to buy the top gasket, like if you use it too much. But like I said, they got 12-ounce, they got 16-ounce. Go find it. You can find it anywhere, sporting goods stores, Amazon. The normal places. So, um, it's a little bit all I have on that. Jeanette's still making her beer, so we're gonna figure out. We're gonna start to touch on. Oh, there she is. She's back.
This is it.
Perfect timing.
This is the preparada with Negra Modelo. It's so delicious.
So let them know one more time what all goes into that, because I think this is super important because like the white people of Minnesota that might watch this need to know.
Okay, so this is how you make a preparada. There's a difference between a preparada and a michelada. If you get a michelada, that's gonna have clamato juice and then maybe some Tabasco, and it's gonna be iced. A preparada is, if you want to try it at home, if you like if you like that spicy clamato juice flavor, and if you eat shrimp, if you're not allergic to shrimp, um, if you make, like, say if you're gonna make some shrimp cocktail, that's the best to go with a preparada. So you're gonna boil your shrimp and boil it with garlic and sea salt, and some of that shrimp juice you're gonna use for your preparada. So you're gonna do clamato, that shrimp juice, and then some lime, fresh squeezed lime juice, a little bit of the margarita salt or the sea salt, and then you're gonna do a hint of Worcestershire sauce. I love it. I think it's so good with it, and it's perfect with dark beers. Skip the Worcestershire sauce if you're gonna do a lager. If you're just gonna do like you can do a Corona, Victoria, um, any of the other lighter beers. It's not or even a Modelo, just a regular Modelo. But yeah, for the Negra Modelo, that's probably the best. And then make sure you freeze your mug or whatever you're gonna drink it in, and then tahini around the edge, and then just your lime. If you can find some, there's some stuff. I don't know if you ever had the tamarind candy. I know you
I
had it.
have. Yep, I've had
Okay. Yes. So there's some tamarind kind of it's like a sauce type of thing that comes in a container, kind of like the margarita salt, and you can dip it in there just so that the rim has that tamarind flavor, and then you put the tahini on it. So good. You would love it. Can't wait till you come down here so I can make you some. It's gonna
It
be
sounds amazing. Sounds
good.
absolutely amazing.
But yeah, that's how you make a preparada. And then like I said, it goes well with like, you know, nachos, carne asada, or or even like shrimp cocktail, things like that.
Or just a hot day.
Or yeah, just not day. But these Negro Modelos do pack some kick, so it's not a it's not necessarily a day drinking beer. I mean, I would do it, but I flip. So this is what I do. I have my dark beer, my Negro Modelo, and then don't judge me, guys. I have my light beer. So that is how I stay alive.
It's called smart drinking.
Yes,
It's called experience.
yes. We can't do all that dark beer all the time.
That's same with the one that I talked about, the APV or ABV on the beer that I was speaking about, the Dream Yard from Modest is I actually should just check. I want to say it's like 6.5 though.
Oh wow.
So you're not drinking a bunch of them. That those hazy
Yeah.
IPAs and those IPAs, especially from Minnesota, they're gonna kick your ass real quick. So
Mhm.
you don't necessarily want to be drinking them all day because you're
Yeah.
gonna be in trouble.
Yes. No, my okay, so we have to I know we're gonna have guests. We're gonna have guests later on, you know. So one of the people that we have to have is one of my friends who I told you about, Jeff. He lives in Boston now, and he told me about Kilt Lifter. He told me about
Never heard of it.
that beer. Yeah, so Kilt Lifter, he told me, yeah, you should drink it. It's so good. So I had gone to the store, or actually my husband went and he bought me a I told him, okay, just get me a 6 pack. That's it. That's all I needed. He bought me a 6 pack, and then I had my other beer. I did not know what the ABV was on that. I think it's like 7 point something. I'm not joking. I don't even remember what happened. Like I drank the 6 beers. I was drinking before that, but oh my God. My husband was like, was there a party here? Like there's when I got home, it seemed like there was a big party here. Like I was like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. But that beer, it's so good. It
Oh
goes down
man,
so easily, but so dangerous.
come to Minnesota and you'll get your ass kicked real quick because that's all their IPAs and stuff out here. It's the ABV out here. I swear to God, average is like 6. Like
Yeah.
so.
Yes. I love IPAs. I think they're so good. I love everything that's hoppy. I love it.
Oh, you love what I was just showing. Well, I'll even show it off again. So this is it's called Modest Dream Yard.
Oh
It's
my
from
God.
Modest Brewing.
Uh-huh.
It is brewed in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's see if it has the ABV. Yep, 7.1 is the ABV on it, and
Mm-hmm.
it is a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the pop of an IPA, but it also is like mellow because the hazy, like it kind of has a milky texture almost. So
Yes.
like it goes down so easy and kicks your ass so quickly.
Yeah. You know what I heard? I heard that the homebrew scene in New Mexico, that's crazy. That they make a lot of hoppy beer like that. I'd love to try something like that. We have to go out there together and try some homebrewed IPAs. That would be
you,
insane.
you know, I'm always down. um, with that said, Jeanette, do you have anything else beer wise, like as far as like any hacks or anything? Like I gave everyone while you were gone making your drink, that the Yeti can koozie is just a must. Like
Yeah.
just game changer. Do you have anything like that?
Let's see.
As
I
you can
can't
see,
think
I'm
of
using mine
anything.
still.
I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, we can come back to it. It's
Yeah.
it's pilot
Yeah.
episode, very first one.
Yeah.
So let's get on to college football. Let's talk some gambling.
Okay.
Let's talk. We got games coming up this week. Starting on Thursday, like where we're really opening up. Um, so I'm gonna pull odds. If do you have odds for Thursdays?
Yes, I do.
All right,
So
what
real quick,
what do you like?
let's see. What are the games that you're looking forward to see? Do you know?
On so big game on Thursday for us and well, not me particularly because I don't
Uh-huh.
give two craps, but I will bet it probably is I believe Minnesota plays New Mexico State on Thursday. I'm looking for it right now. Or maybe that's Friday, but I could swore it was Thursday. Sorry, my website's just loading slowly for some reason. It's so New Mexico State Aggies versus the Ghosts. Ghosts, according to FanDuel, are 38.5 point favorites is what I'm seeing. I think that was it. Let me check the over under because that will be the most interesting part of this because I don't know. Do you touch a line that big? So it's 37.5, by the way, is the
Uh-huh.
FanDuel line. I don't know
Okay.
what they have it over at stations.
I
Um
don't even see it there yet.
Over under is 55.5.
55 and a half.
Yep.
1 second. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it took
That's
me a
going to be a
second too.
Thursday game, right?
Yep, Thursday game. Yep.
Thursday game. Nope, I don't see it. It hasn't loaded yet.
According to this is kind of cool. So just full disclosure, what I'm using right now, to our one or two or three or four fans that we might have right now. Using Vegas Insider right now, Vegas Insider is saying that there's 66% of bets have come in on the Gophers,
Mhm.
but the money 74% of the money has come in on New Mexico State.
Oh, wow.
So very interesting trend, I guess, in that one.
Okay, so overs that I like that I can tell you, I'm not even
Mm-hmm.
gonna go by the odds yet because I don't see them there either for this one. But Fresno State versus Cal Poly, I like Fresno State on that one. I love that over. That is one over that I like a lot.
What's the number on it?
Let's see, give me 1 second. I was just in it. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to that one. I think it was I think it was 47, but I could be wrong.
Don't worry, everyone. We're gonna be more organized for our next week's show.
Yes, we will. We promise.
We have a new plan.
Yeah.
We came up with it pre-show, so
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Nope, it's not loading. Okay, I'm having some technical difficulties with my lines.
which one? So which game
I
is
was looking
that?
for Wake Forest.
Oh, you're
That's
looking
another
for
one.
Wake
Okay, so the
Forest.
first one that I said was the Fresno State.
I'm looking for Fresno State. See if I can find it on here. Wake. Oh, I got Wake Forest if you want that, but I got nothing. Like right now, the lines aren't up for Wake Forest as far as I'm finding.
They're not there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I I did actually go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think it might be too much of a blowout type situation where they're taking their time and setting the line. I'm guessing.
Yeah, or maybe just as we get closer, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah. What about um, Louisville? What do you think about that one?
Well,
That's I have it at 58 and a half, and
58 and
that's
a
on
half Louisville, and they're playing
Syracuse.
Yeah, I like that 58.5. I love the over on that actually.
Yeah, me too. I like it a lot.
Don't worry, people. This will not turn in just to the over show. I promise.
Yes.
What's the line on that game?
Let's see. Louisville. Louisville, minus 4.5.
Gosh, I don't mind them to cover either, to be honest with you.
Louisville.
Yeah. Not as confident in that one as I am on the over, but I
Yeah.
don't mind them to cover on that one. I think that could definitely happen.
Yeah, we'll see. As we get closer, we're gonna do more research and we'll have more of a concise opinion and answer and letting you know exactly what we think about it. I do feel like we have to know exactly who they're gonna be playing. Um, and we'll be able to give you a better pick. What's another one that you like, or maybe for NFL? How do you feel about NFL the first week?
Oh, week one going that far deep. Okay, let me take a look because NFL I'll have very strong opinions on with. Let me just pull them up here. Just because definitely things have NFL seem, and this might just be me, but NFL seems like it actually should be almost relatively easy week one. And I know every time a better thinks that they get their ass kicked, but
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to get, man, I just need to figure out betting sites better because I'm trying to get into. So right now it's got me on.
We're also a little far out, as far as the lines. I mean, they're not going to start dropping lines on us right now.
So I can't find lines yet, at least on Vegas Insider for week one. I'm still trying to find. I feel like they should still be out though. I feel like they always come out. Oh, here we go. Never mind. I think I'm a moron on how I actually handle my computer. Now I got it. Okay, so big premiere game. I really, really like this matchup, and I really, really like the over. Bills at Rams at 52 for the over.
Oh,
Well,
yes, for
yeah,
sure.
I'll take it over all day long on that.
For
Like,
sure.
I
Yes,
love that.
yes.
Um,
Mm.
what else do we got? Gosh, actually, why am I like trying to not swear? God damn it! Like, I for some reason this website went backwards on me, but at least I got it figured out. I also honestly, so tell me what you think on that line too, because the Buffalo Bills are only favored by one. They are the away team, but
Mhm.
remember, like typical. I mean, sports betting, like we're always taught that sports betting line wise, like 3 points go to the home team. The
Yeah,
Rams are only getting one. Actually, the Rams are giving one, and they're the home team.
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel the Bills on that -1 too. What this is actually, let me not use that. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop using those numbers. I apologize. I was using a wrong number. FanDuel has them at -2.5. So still under a field goal for the Bills. How do you feel about that, or would you just not touch it?
I like the Rams on that one.
You like the +2.5?
Yeah, I do. I like the Rams on it. I
I
think they can I think they can cover.
I don't because I think the Bills are probably going to win by at least 3, if not 10. But
Really?
no, yeah, I think the Bills are going to come out swinging this year. So
Yeah.
I'm very. heavy on the Bills, even though like I know that's the popular um it's definitely the popular opinion is to be heavy on the Bills, but it's I don't know, like the way they ended last season, they were clicking, and I don't think they got any worse. So, but is there anything that jumps out at you week one in the NFL?
One, I like Packers Vikings. I think that's going to be a really good game. I like the over on that. Big surprise. But the over,
it's gonna be a bigger surprise when you actually don't like it over.
I know. But that's a 48. I feel like they can easily cover that.
Yeah, 48's easily coverable. It looks like that's consensus across the board too for the 48.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, the next one. Okay, so let's put a parlay together. I think Packers over
yep, agree with that.
Rams over.
Agree with that.
And what's going to be your third team? I feel like,
I'm
to be
looking right
honest with
now.
you, I would pick my three-teamer to be Eagles versus Lions at
So
49, 48 and a half.
here's what I like more than that. Like, and I know you just love your overs, but I like the Lions plus 3.5 on this.
Ooh,
Like, I actually really like that bet better. And it's actually 4 at a lot of books. It looks like
yeah,
it's 3.5
yeah.
on FanDuel.
Okay,
But I really like that 3.5 to 4.
yeah.
Like, because I don't think the Lions are going to lose that game. Right?
Mm.
I personally think the Lions could be a hell of a lot better team than a lot of people think they're going to be. So over, what was the over under that you had?
48 and a half.
Yeah, I mean I don't hate that either, but if I had to take a safe bet in what I feel is a safe bet, that 3.5 to 4 is I would be rocking that one.
Okay, well, there you go. You have two options for a three-team parlay. Either you can go three overs or two overs, and then the Lions plus four. I have it at, and Josh has it at three and a half.
3.5 is the FanDuel line.
Okay, so the FanDuel line is three and a half. So our picks are Bills over, Packers over, and then Lions plus three and a half or Lions over. And there's your three-team parlay.
And that's if you're using FanDuel. If you're out in Vegas, you looks like you're getting 4 so on the
Yes,
Lions. So
yes.
got a curious one for you because this is a very curious line to me.
Uh-huh.
So they have Kansas City and Arizona at 3.5, with Kansas City being only 3.5 point favorites. I don't know about that one.
Mhm. Let's see.
The over under is at 53.5 from what the information I'm getting from Vegas Insider.
53 and a half. I have it at 53.
Oh, that's
The
better.
station sports. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that one. I feel like I have to see Mahomes play. I
Yeah,
feel like,
without Tariq Hill, yeah, there's lots of
yeah,
variables now.
yeah. I want to see what he's gonna do. What's gonna be who his go-to is gonna be, and how well he executes this year. Because last year he was very inconsistent in my eyes. And
I totally agree. Oh man, I just had one catch my eye.
Which one?
This is I can't be reading this right. Chargers Saints.
Chargers Raiders,
Is
week
that what
one.
it's supposed to be? Oh yeah, because I'm seeing something. Sorry. It's this stupid website keeps reverting the preseason.
Yeah, I know it's Chargers Raiders week one. And
That's
that
what I thought.
the over is 52. The Chargers are minus 3.5. And
Yeah,
the
see,
Chargers
that's
are,
one I probably wouldn't touch.
no,
I would the only thing I would think about touching, and I'm not going to, but would be the over.
the over, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would not touch any of that score line at all. 3.5 is heavy, in my opinion, in that game, especially since we don't know what's going to happen. We haven't even seen Derek Carr or Justin Herbert this preseason, so that's kind of a weird one.
I agree
How,
with you.
how about this one though? This one is really interesting to me. Like, I don't know which way you'd go on it, but looking at so FanDuel has Tampa Bay 1.5 point favorites going into Dallas. The over under is 50 that I have in front of me.
Yeah, I have it at 50 also. Bucks minus 1.5.
Yeah, that's what FanDuel has that too.
I would take the Bucks minus 1.5.
I think that's pretty safe. I I,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a safe bet. I don't think that the Cowboys have any of their shit put together. So
To be honest with you though, that's one that I would do either an in game or a second half pick. I wouldn't take it right off the bat. I wouldn't parlay it, but that's one that I would look at the second half because I have a feeling that the Bucks are gonna come out strong on the second quarter. I feel like Dallas, I don't know, maybe 7-3, 7-3, or 10-3 first quarter. I feel like the second quarter will be a good Bucks quarter, and then I feel like the second half would be a good over, depending on what that is. I would take it if it's overs or maybe under 20. Yeah, I would take it if it was over 20, sorry.
so here's my thing on this, and actually I should have announced this when we were talking about our biases, but like definitely a Tom Brady guy. Tom Brady, whenever he gets talked shit about or he's in any controversy, like he comes out like guns a blazing and it's just pissed off and plays that way. I can't see anything changing. Like Tom Brady was like they talk shit about him not being at camp. Like that guy is a machine. And
Mhm.
so like I could just see him coming out and just lighting the Cowboys up. So I guess Tom Brady factor in my mind just likes the covering more than anything. Um
Yes.
it's just it seems like he's just gonna come out guns a blazing.
I just, from my point of view, I think there's something going on with him. I think that he's a an emotional player. I know that he's very calm and collected and he does his thing, but I feel like whatever's going on, whatever is happening that he's not talking about, I feel like it is affecting him and I feel like it'll show in the first quarter. I feel like the first quarter will be um I think that they will do good. I think that they'll be up the first quarter, but I feel like the second quarter he'll come out strong. And then sometimes when I'm unsure, what I do is I wait for the second half. And that's what I feel like this game, that's what it tells me. Wait till the second half. Don't make any choices right now. I do like the 50 to cover. I like the over. So I would take the over if I had to parlay it with something else, but I would definitely wait for a second half pick.
Yeah, I I could totally see that. The only disagreement I have is I think Tom leaves that issue outside the locker room. I think when he steps in there, he loses himself in the game because
See, we'll see about that. We will see.
his preparation is bar none some of the best that
Yes.
we've ever seen. So, um, and I'll just comment on. I know nothing about his situation,
Yeah.
but I do believe it probably has something to do with him wanting to have, or like his wife wanting him to have retired, and
Yeah.
him going back and saying, "Nope, I'm still playing."
You think so? You think that's what it is?
That's what I think it is. I think she wanted, because she's been vocal about wanting him to leave the game for a while now. And he actually said he was leaving, and now he's not leaving. Like
Yeah.
he went back.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that might be what it is. I don't know. I have no inside information. I am not an insider whatsoever. So
Wasn't his dad the one that came out and said, no, my son did not retire?
yeah, it was his dad said no, that's not what's going on. So
Yeah, who knows? I'm not sure what kind of conflict that was. And then all of a sudden, this whole Dana White, did you hear about that? Dana White saying that Tom Brady was going to come to the Raiders.
dude, I thought Tom Brady had a shot to go to the Raiders like earlier, but honestly, there's a lot of like talk about Tom Brady going places. I don't think Tom Brady's going anywhere at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I think he'll play out this season with the Bucks, maybe play another one with the Bucks. Who the hell knows with Tom Brady? But I think it's with the Bucks. He'll play this year with the Bucks for sure.
Hmm.
Next year, who knows? Because he's not technically under contract, but we'll see. I'm more interested to see if Gronk comes back about week 6.
I know. I know. I think he will.
So do I.
Okay, let's make a bet.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we're both on the same side of the bet, though. Like, how do we do
Okay.
that? Because neither of us
Let's
want
make
to
a
bet
bet
against it.
though. Let's make a bet. So let me tell you something about betting, okay? When you love betting, you start making bets on anything, anything that happens. I'm like,
It's
okay,
hard.
let's bet
It's
on
hard to
it.
bet someone being on the same side of the whole bet, though. Like,
Okay, let's do, okay. If he comes back, okay, shoot out our Twitter handle. And how
okay,
about that? How about they can tweet us what we should take shots of?
okay. So I get. So we're
Okay.
both on the same side of this bet. So if Gronk comes back in week 6, should we say actually let's do over under week 6?
Okay.
So what we think, over week 6 or under, or week 6 or push?
Uh, I'll take I think he's coming back in week 4.
Okay, so we're taking under.
Under. Yeah.
Okay, we'll both take the under. So
Okay.
go ahead,
Sorry.
hit up the Twitter handle. It is, and I always have to check this because there was there was, there was a restriction on how much characters I could use on our handles. So let me just get the exact handle because I'm still getting used to this. So at Bets and Brew Club, let us know what should we take a shot of if we're wrong. If we're right, we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah,
So
I
we're
know.
saying under 6 games, Gronk is back.
Yes.
So you guys shout us out, throw it in the Twitter, and then we'll act accordingly. By the way, obviously, there's good if there's I say obviously there's gonna be lots of responses. There's not gonna be lots of responses,
You never
but
know. You
if
never know.
if there is multiple responses, it's up to Jeanette and I's discretion on which one we choose. So,
No, how about this? How about we put it all in a hat and then just
oh, I like that.
pick one out.
Yeah, we'll
Okay?
draw,
Yeah, we'll draw one.
but don't
So
do something obscene. Like, no, like just like dirt water from the outside or
no, no,
something.
no, actual liquor.
Like,
No,
yes.
I wouldn't even do that. I'm just talking about actual liquor. You pick the liquor, we'll drink it. And then you can
All
drink it
right.
with us. That would be amazing.
Hell yeah! If we pick you, we'll throw you on the recording, and
Right?
you can take it with us. So,
Yes.
well, we have to get to baseball because I know we're both baseball fans.
Yes.
You're a huge LA Dodger fan. Your
Yeah.
team is in a very good place, but let's let's talk about the gambling side of it. And I'm gonna let you start. And what do you like in the upcoming week? Is there anything that sticks out to you?
For let's see. I'm looking at the games. Mm-mm-mm. I like I don't have the lines for the ones later down the week.
Okay, so let's talk futures instead because we're pretty deep into the season.
Uh-huh.
So not just and I think you can find these numbers. I have the FanDuel numbers, but what do you think is the best value for someone right now? Because your Dodgers, I don't think your Dodgers are a good value. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think they'll win, but their value is plus 290. So that's their World Series odds right now. Plus 290 is I don't find value there.
Hmm.
Do you
One game that I actually do like, to be honest with you, and I think this will air right before it, is, and I'm gonna go back to my overs. That's gonna
I
be,
love it.
and even though it's the Grom, I like the Dodgers versus Mets. That is a game that's gonna be so good
What's the
on
pitching matchup?
on the 31st, and it's gonna be the Grom, Jacob DeGrom versus Tyler Anderson.
And you like the over on it?
I do like it.
What's the
I
over
do
under?
like it.
Because I'm probably good at dislike this.
The over is, I have it at 7.
Yeah, it's me. I'm not touching that over under.
I love that over. I absolutely love that over. I will take it in a heartbeat.
With Jacob DeGrom going,
Yes. Yep.
oh, I don't like it. I really don't.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
That's a
There's
World Series preview game too.
Yes,
Like
that's
that's
gonna be a really good game.
well, actually they can't play in the World Series, but you know what I'm saying because
Yes, 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 yes.
they're both National
Okay.
League teams. But
Yes. So what do you think about the Red Sox Twins on that same day on the 31st?
what do you got for lines? I have future lines up right now, so
Let's see. That it's not showing me a line. Nope, not showing me a line. Sorry.
I'm not giving you a line. Who's
Nope.
pitching?
Let's see. Red Sox Twins. It's gonna be
Rejected, I guess.
let's see. Oh my goodness, my
It's all falling apart now.
sorry, we'll be better prepared next time. We promise.
We do.
Something happening. We're gonna have printouts and everything. Okay, is there one that you would have? Let's see. Hmm, no, a lot of stuff is undecided. We're that
Gotcha.
far out.
Well, let's look at futures while we have it.
Okay.
Like, so obviously, I already talked about, like, I don't think there's much value in the Dodgers because of plus 290. It's a little, I mean, you're not winning much on that. But look at the two New York teams, and actually, I'm shocked that this is lined up this way. New York Yankees are plus 450. But here's where the crazy part is, and this is probably the Dodgers effect. Actually, these next two are the Dodgers effect. The New York Mets are plus 600, and the Atlanta Braves are plus 1,000. And I gotta believe it's because they're in the same um league or division as the Dodgers. Not division, but you know what I'm saying. They're
Yeah,
NL.
yeah.
Those are big, big numbers, and especially that Braves number is crazy. But they'd have to repeat, so that would be nuts regardless, because MLB teams don't repeat anymore. I heard that giggle. I know what that was.
Okay, let's see.
But that Mets plus 600, I guess I feel value there. I know that would go against you being able to pick your team to win it all, like, but that plus 600 looks good to me.
Yeah, so I'm not touching that, but yeah, that's
There comes the bias.
yes. It's okay though. Let's see. Okay, what else jumps at you? Are we talking about
On
baseball?
futures
What about
or
okay,
baseball, or
hold up.
what do you want to talk
Let's
about?
let's talk about no, we're not gonna go so far out into hockey. That's like 3 more weeks, so we'll just wait on that.
Can't wait for that.
I know. I think let's see. We can talk some boxing.
Let's do it. Go for it. I'm getting a beer out of my cooler, so
Okay, so one that we have
I
coming.
spilled an ice cube on my floor.
You did.
Okay, I fixed it.
Okay. Well, as long as you don't spill the beer, you're okay.
Yeah, it's just an ice cube.
An ice cube, it's fine.
We're all good. Okay.
Okay. So there's a fight coming up. Um, Labor Day weekend. It's gonna be on Sunday. It's Andy Reese. He's coming back. He looks more disciplined. So I don't know if you saw Canelo's last fight against Bivol, the one that he lost.
I didn't see it. I saw highlights, but
Okay. So he lost against Bivol. Um, during that um during the conditioning and training for that fight, Canelo actually went vegan. So he went vegan, he had a conditioning coach. That's what he told him to do. It was the best thing for his body. He looked so good. Canelo did look so good. But I personally think that you can't just change something, and maybe somebody that is vegan will be able to have a better understanding in that. But I feel like going vegan takes a while for your body to get used to it, for your body to actually gain that strength and for it to feel better. I think that you can look better, but I feel like it takes time, you know? And I think that he did that with that conditioning coach. He looked great. He said he felt great. But then during that fight, he just looked like he was so exhausted. And I think that yes, the credit does go to Bivol. He has a crazy guard. You can't get through that guard. Um, I just think that Canelo didn't look like himself. I think that he looked frustrated. I think that the frustration was part of him not being able to get through the guard of Bivol and his size difference. But I also feel that it was just him changing his conditioning plan, his meal plan, everything just changing drastically. I don't think you should do that for a fight. Do you know what I mean? Like just the build up for the fight. I don't think that was the right time for him to do it. I think like 2 years down the road, yes, you would see it. But I think that just wasn't what he should have done. But anyway, so Andy Ruiz, uh, he left. He was with Canelo's trainer. He left, and he took that conditioning coach with him. Andy Ruiz has been having a horrible time, staying committed, staying driven, um, actually um, doing what the trainer's telling him to do, what his meal plans, things like that. He loves to cheat. So this guy, like, yeah, his work ethic has been very questionable in the past. But he did score that big upset with Anthony Joshua. So I think with him coming into this next fight, um, on Labor Day weekend on that Sunday, I think that he does look good. I think that he does look like he's committed, and I hope that he is. But this would be a good one to take Reese on. I like the line on that one. I think he's the last time that I looked, which was 2 days ago. I it's gonna change, so there's not even no point in
Right.
looking at it right now. But I feel like Wednesday, Thursday, you should get the true matchup numbers because I think it's going to be more on the opponent's side than on Andy Reese. But I think Andy should pull this off. But that would be a good boxing fight to come. And then Canelo versus Golovkin. That's going to be really good. I have Canelo winning that fight. What are your thoughts on that? On Canelo?
So I'd love to hear more from any five fans that we have on on Twitter about just if anyone is vegan or has switched to vegan at some point, just how that affects you. Um, I can't speak to changing the vegan. Like I, there's a large part of me that's against it, especially if you're a fighter or an athlete. Period, because I don't know. In health, I learned that red meat's pretty damn good for you, like to some extent. Um, so I would love to know what any vegan fans that we might have, like what they think about that switch, because that is a really interesting change because that is not just that's not just a change in your that's a lifestyle change.
Yes. I just
So
don't feel like exactly that you just brought up the point. A lifestyle change, not a change that you do to win a fight. You
right,
know what I
right.
mean? I just
Oh,
don't
that's a
think that
lifestyle
way.
change.
Yeah. So I think if he was committed into doing it and maybe his wife seems like she would, you know, encourage him to do something like that. But I just don't feel like you do that when you like to get ready to have like this massive fight. You're gonna go up and you're gonna try to fight this guy that's in a different weight class. Like you're trying to conquer all these different weight classes, and now this guy's so much bigger than you. This guy is so tall. You have to see like I think it was the day before when when they were standing next to each other. Oh my God, such a crazy height difference. Like it's not just the weight, but the height, it
Well, that
was
means the
the
reach
reach.
is the reach
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah, the reach, I think it was 60 versus, I'm not sure. I don't want to say numbers that are incorrect, but
Right.
I think one of them was 60. Like it's just crazy. And Bivol is so good, he's so good. He's so disciplined. His guard is just it's crazy. Like you can't get through that guard. And now he has this fight coming up. So definitely take Bivol on that one. He's fighting his Ramirez is the last name. They call him Zurdo, so like lefty Ramirez. He's fighting him. I believe the fight is in November. Ramirez is pretty good. He's good, but I do feel that Big Bull's gonna take that fight. I think that he's gonna win, and we'll see what happens with Canelo Golovkin. I think Canelo should put Golovkin away in the later rounds. I think Canelo's gonna make. He has to come back and make a crazy comeback from that Big Bull, you know, from that loss, and we'll see what happens then. I also feel like Golovkin's already getting ready to retire. I think that he wants to win the fight and he feels like he should be able to, but I think Canelo should win that fight. And then the other fight is the one I've been telling you about, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. That is the fight that I've been looking forward to. I'm not sure if maybe it's what, 3, 5 years. It's such a good matchup.
What's the line looking like right now on that?
Let's see. That's a future. This is really good though. Like I said, I believe Errol Spence is with Al Heyman. I believe that's his promoter. Terrence Crawford was with Bob Arum. I'm not sure if he's still with Bob Arum. I think there was some controversy there on to what happened, but um, I
Wait,
don't
so
have it yet.
Aerospence is with Paul Heyman?
With Al Heyman, he's with Al
Oh,
Heyman.
all Heyman. Okay.
Yeah, Al Heyman Promotions, and then
Which I
Terrence
think is
Crawford.
Paul Heyman. So
And then Terrence Crawford, he was with Bob Arum. I'm not sure if he let him go or what that was. I think there was something because this fight couldn't have been made 5 years ago because of the promoters. So this is something, for example, Mayweather fighting Pacquiao. That's a fight that happened way after
it should have.
it
Yeah,
should have. Yeah. It happened when it was like maybe what, 2, 3 years overdue. So
at
this
least.
fight, yes, this fight is at the right moment. It's like at the pinnacle of their career. Like this is it. And it's at the perfect time. Like I don't even know how to put it into words, but maybe if you watch Terrence Crawford's last fight and Errol Spence Jr.'s last fight, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You just have to watch the highlights of how good these guys are.
So who
Like
are you taking?
I like Errol Spence Jr.
I
I do.
figured because of your
Yeah.
earlier comments, but
Yes, I do like him. I think Terrence Crawford is he's he's very good at adjusting. I think he's a perfectionist. I think he's gonna come out um trying to time, finding the right timing for Errol Spence. I think that he's gonna do all that. I think he's gonna make the right moves, but I just think Errol Spence is just too good. I think he's gonna punish him. I think I don't know if I would go for a knockout on this one, but definitely for Errol Spence to take that W that night. But we'll see. But as far as Canelo Golovkin, Canelo's minus 450. Golovkin is plus 360. That's September 17th. That should be a really good fight.
I could see some value in that one.
Yeah. We'll see with the rounds. I think that's a good one with the rounds. I definitely think that Canelo, if you have I think FanDuel does under 12. Lately they've been doing Station Sports has been doing under 10. So I definitely wouldn't take it under 10, but I would take it under 12.
Okay. So let me ask you, just since we're on the topic of boxing,
Mhm.
because this has been a new phenomenon, and I'm not going to say these guys are bad at boxing, but they're not pure
No, you're not
boxers.
gonna go there. You're not gonna
I'm
go
going
there.
to. I'm going to go there.
Oh my God.
So How do you feel about the Logan and Jake Pauls of boxing right now?
I think it's crazy. I don't think he's a boxer at all. I think I mean both brothers claim to do they fight on the same card? I know the
Not
one
typically,
that
no.
no, okay. I know that Jake Paul, like to me, I feel like I mean, he's doing good for himself. I think that's really good what he's doing for himself, but I don't think that he's doing anything for the sport of boxing. I think he's just a showman, you know? Did you watch it when it was on, was it Thriller or Triller or something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember watching it on anything that you're just talking
Do you
about, but I
remember it was
have
like a,
watched it.
but it was like a mashup and they had Justin Bieber there and there was all like this crazy like mashup of stuff?
I think that was Jake Paul. Like,
Yeah, Jake Paul.
I'm more interested in Logan Paul
Really?
because
Okay.
Logan Paul is actually like looks like a damn good boxer, to be honest with you. Now I don't think he's gonna box anymore. Like, and he
Mhm.
looked like a damn good boxer for like someone who hasn't been professionally boxing for his entire career. Like, he just looks like he understands it to an
Yeah.
extent and actually like works hard at it. Now, Logan Paul, with all things said, he's pretty much done as a boxer, in my professional opinion. I will say professional because I'm a professional wrestling fan, and Logan Paul signed with WWE. He's a professional wrestler now. I highly doubt he'll get in a boxing ring again until
Mhm.
he's washed out of WWE. But like, I I just that's well, that was but you kind of answered my main question. Like, what do you think they do for boxing? Like, because boxing is you and I like boxing, but
Yeah.
boxing as a whole has been relatively stagnant for years now.
Um,
As far as like public popularity, like, do you think it helped it at all? Like, where people actually paid any attention? And actually, does it hurt that Logan Paul decided to go WWE and isn't going to be boxing? Like, I don't know. Like, I just love your opinion on that.
to be honest with you, what I think hurt the sport of boxing is the different promoting, the different streaming sites. I feel like that's what's hurting boxing. I feel like there's a lot of matchups that could have been made that should be made that are really great matchups that would just spark up boxing again, but I feel like they're not made because now you have the zone. So there's fighters that are already contracted with the zone. So that's a streaming website or that's a streaming site. So you pay a subscription. That's one way to go. Or you have, the other fighters that go on pay-per-view. You have El Heyman promotions. You have Mayweather promotions. You have Golden Boy promotions. You have all these other promoters, and I feel like they're the ones that are taking it out. They're the ones that are making boxing hurt the way that it has been for the past few years. Um, I feel that back in the day, I mean, you remember you had Tyson, you had Donking Promotions. Of course, that was a show on its own, but I
Yep.
mean, there was only a few, Don King, Bob Arum, Golden Boy, and then everybody else would just kind of come in, and if they were giving the right number, they would fight. But I feel like now it's just the politics of boxing, like it's hurting it. There's a lot of good boxers out there. There's so many good boxers. Devin Haney, he's fighting against Cambosos. That's what is it, the second, third fight that's coming up soon too. That's a really good fight. Devin Haney's a really good boxer. There's just so many boxers that Teofimo Lopez, yeah, he's really good. Um, I just feel like just some of that, the promoters, the streaming sites, that's what's hurting boxing. But I feel like the boxers are there. There's a lot of good boxers out there right now.
So I can actually chime in on this as far as like what, especially since I'm not as far into boxing as you are. I do love the sport, but like it's hard for me to follow as closely because I don't get the pay-per-views. I don't have or pay for the streaming service that has boxing matchups. Is boxing kicking themselves? Like, could they actually grow the sport if they did some of these more big matches, like on an ESPN or Fox Sports One or FS1, something like that? Like, could they grow their sport if they had bigger matches on the public channels instead of making people that, quite frankly, a lot of these people don't even know boxing and they have to pay $60 to watch the big matches?
I
Eh,
honestly think like you just said the answer yourself. So it's like the public channels where anybody can get a hold of. I feel like that's the answer. Do it for 6 months. Do it for 6 months and you'll have everybody hooked. Then go back to asking people to pay for it. You
what?
just need to have them watch and you need the promoters to make the fights.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it, and I know this is going to sound really juvenile, but you could do it like WWE or wrestling style, like where you
Yeah.
have a show each week where,
Yeah.
like, you start building up these fighters, and then you have your pay per view, like after so
Yes.
long. So I think they need to, someone needs to step in, like, just for the love of the sport, like, fix this.
I think so. I think that's a great idea. I think that you just kind of like just said what the answer should be because a lot of people aren't exposed to these spiders that are so great, that are so skilled because you have to pay and it's not just 40, $50 now. It's like $100
Yeah.
to watch a boxer, and it's one very skilled boxer in the main card. And then, everybody else is gonna follow suit. But you you want to watch them, you want to expose, your viewers to them so that they can want to pay your subscription and all that. But I feel like do
But
that 6 months of boxing,
yeah, because they're not gonna watch, like, so, like, the casual follower, like, is not gonna pay $100 to see a good, like, a match that
You
they've been
don't know
told
them.
is good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, I can
so
tell you. I can tell you about Devin Haney. I can tell you about, like I said, about Terrence Crawford. I can tell you about Errol Spence Jr., how great they are. I can preach all I want, but if you don't see them for yourself, you're not gonna pay that money, And a lot of them, the last fight or the last main card on was it the Zone? I believe it was the Zone. There was one very good matchup, and then after that, the rest of them were pretty boring. So you're gonna ask them to pay a subscription, and they haven't even seen this boxer? Like, again, I feel like that is the answer. They should do, maybe 3, 6 months of boxing, just put on some shows, and then that way people can actually follow them.
or even go back to, like, I mean, there's so many things I think they could do. Like, I remember Friday Night Fights on ESPN?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
just
yes,
have some decent guys in there. You
yes,
get people, like, then
yes,
maybe you get them to actually buy the pay-per-views. So
yes.
there's a lot that they could do. So
One guy that I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna throw out his name that you guys should look out for, that you guys should research, and this is going for like the 4 people that listen to us. Okay, so this is Brandon Lee, Brandon Brandun Lee Lee. He's Korean Mexican boxer. He is insane. He's so good. You guys have to check him out. He's a brawler. He's a technical fighter. He's really good, really strong. He actually fought 2 weeks ago. He was knocked down. That was the first time that he's ever been knocked down in his career. His dad is Korean. His mother is Mexican. His dad is his trainer. Um, he got knocked down, but he did come back up and he did win the fight. But this is a guy that you should really watch out for. He's gonna do some really good things. He's really good.
all right, everybody, you got straight from our boxing expert. All right, like,
Yes.
let's move on for boxing. We've tackled boxing, I feel like. We're getting towards the end. We got a couple little things left to talk about. Um, let's talk about college football again because it is
Woo!
it is the big week.
Yes.
So let's look at Saturday's games. These are the fun ones. This is where we get really, really into college football. There are some lines I really like. Um, so let's get into it. What's first off? What do you have anything that jumps out at you right away?
Okay, which one are we talking about?
We're talking college football. Basically week 1, Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, let's see. Mm-mm-mm.
Once
Is
again,
there
we will both better be better prepared next time. So,
Okay, so Saturday, that is the third.
yep,
I like Cincy. I like Cincy, Arkansas. That one is, ooh, I like that a lot. 51.5 is what I have it. I like that over.
I
Cincy
do
is
too on
plus,
that one.
I kind of like Cincy on that one. +6.
Yeah, I agree with that. One that I'm looking at is I really hate how this website works, but the Bowling Green at UCLA.
Oh,
I don't necessarily love the over, but I do like the 24.5 to UCLA. Like, I actually like UCLA getting that many points. I think they probably cover that pretty easily. I think they cover that in the first half
mm-hmm.
because I don't think Bowling Green's going to do much. I mean, it's Bowling Green for that matter. I am going to go with a fun homer one for me. Oh, and this line has moved actually since last time I looked at it. But right now, Georgia's getting 17.5 on the Oregon Ducks, and the Oregon Ducks are at home. Over under, let's take a look at that. Over under is 51.5. What do you
50.
think? 51.5 on the over under. This one I'm getting from FanDuel. And then
Mm,
17.5 Georgia favored. This is one where I'm kind of the homer guy, but like I love that 17.5 because I don't think there's any chance that they beat Oregon by that much.
yeah, I would take to cover the spread. I don't think I would take that over.
I don't think I'd take the over either, especially since Oregon's new coach is Georgia's last year's defensive coordinator. So,
Yes.
but I do love that over or that spread though. That
Spread,
17
yes.
and a half is just it's a huge number for a team. Oregon's a very good team. So they're ranked 11 for a reason. It's not because they're going to get blown out by Georgia. So,
Yeah.
and it's SEC. Like we always have to worry about that SEC bias because that even shows up in lines.
Yeah. What about Wisconsin?
What's the Wisconsin one looking like?
I don't see the line, but it's Wisconsin versus Illinois State.
Illinois State. Oh, Illinois State. Okay. Let me see if I can find the line here on it.
That's gonna
Just
be an ass whooping, but
what time is it?
that's
Oh, it's Illinois State. It's not Iowa State. So yeah, that's gonna be an ass whooping.
yeah, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Okay, so should be right around here. Yeah, it's not on the board yet at all. Um, However, I just happened to run into one that I think is pretty interesting. How about BYU and SFU?
Oh, I was actually looking at this one earlier.
This is
Uh,
my wife's alma mater, is SFU.
really?
Yep. She graduated from South Florida.
Aw. So who are you going for then?
11 and a half is what I'm seeing here. What do you have on your end, like spread
12.
wise?
12.
12. Okay. So pretty much 12. 11 and a half might as well be 12 for the most part, other than for pushes.
Do you have BYU minus 455?
Um, Man, I hate this website. Once again, I swear to God, we will be more organized. I can.
Are you drinking?
No, I have it. So when I look up, now I have. Okay. So I wish I could show you how this shows up. So I can see it, like the plus minus and the line in one view. And then when I go to look at the over under, then the plus minus isn't there.
No,
But
I was saying because your eyes look like absolutely normal.
oh,
Mine do not.
yes,
So
yes, right here. Sorry, I walk around at point oh four. So
okay.
um no, so I'm seeing at FanDuel has BYU at negative 110. And actually, God,
Negative 110.
dude, this
Log me in right now if it's negative 110. Is that just for the over?
that's fan. No, that's on the spread.
Are you serious? BYU?
Yeah,
That is crazy.
yeah, it's actually a little ridiculous because it's negative 110 for the spread on both sides,
That sounds
which
like an
is
over.
yeah, it seems
Over
irritating.
under. Yeah.
The 58 and a half, like I've heard the hype on BYU, but it should it be as high as it is? Like, am I missing something? Because the hype on BYU has been big this year. Like, I'm hearing all kinds of like sports radio stations talking
Is it
about BYU.
really? Is it the quarterback?
I don't know. They don't even really go into it. They just talk about BYU being the tough team out in the Mountain West.
We shall see. See. I think after the first game, we'll have a little more perspective on what all these insiders are thinking that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, it's almost impossible for a first week, but how
We'll
about just because I see this line and it's so insane?
hmm
What would you feel about USC versus Rice?
mm,
34 and a half is the line.
USC versus Rice. Let's see.
And the over under is 64.5. At least that's what I have.
I don't know. I wouldn't take that over.
I
Hmm.
think I would touch the line though. I think
Yeah.
USC is going to try to make a statement.
Yeah, I think so too. I have to look more into that one. I want to see why they would think it's the over could possibly be that high.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
much about Rice, so
I don't see Rice putting up many points in that.
that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah,
so,
basically what USC can give us, you know? So,
and that's why I like the line better than I like the over under on it.
yeah,
Just because I can see USC putting up points, I can't see Rice putting up much.
yeah. I think that's one we'd have to look into a little bit more.
Oh wow, I can't believe I didn't know this game was happening. This is a big game, big time game. I would love to know your thoughts on it. Um, Line is 2.5. The Utah Utes going to Florida Gators. Florida Gators
Oh,
are
yes.
underdogs by two and a
Yeah.
half.
I actually like that one a lot, and I like the over.
Yeah, at 50 and a half. Is that
51.
what you're
Yeah.
getting 51?
51. Yeah. I love that over. I love it a lot. I see that over going up to maybe like 60, 62 around there. I do feel like that's a good one. That's a parlay hit right there.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like the over on Utah. I actually even like the 2.5, to be honest with you. I'm not even shying away from that 2.5 because I don't think Florida's good enough to Utah. They can't stick with Utah, I don't think. But this year, Utah is going to be a little bit of a force. So that's personal opinion, but also research I've done. Just because Utah is going to be Oregon's big pain in the side this year. So
Yeah.
all right, let's talk this team because we have to do it. This matchup is such a large matchup, and I can't believe I didn't know this matchup was week one. Gosh, there's good matchups week one.
Mhm.
We got Notre Dame going to Ohio State.
Oh yes, I saw this one too. I like I like Ohio State on this one. I don't know about minus 17 though.
That's where I was gonna say I actually love Notre Dame on the line because I don't think Ohio State's winning by 17.
I
I
would like
don't
them. Yeah.
I don't know about the 58 and a half. Like I actually would consider the under on that. But
Yeah. I don't like that over either. I wouldn't touch that over. I would like it at minus 14, to be honest with you. Like two touchdowns. Yeah, I can see that happening. But I'd be very comfortable at minus 13. I know it's only that 1 point, but I would be very comfortable at minus 13 Ohio State. But I don't like that minus 17 at all.
yeah, which actually when you don't like it at all means you could be comfortable on the other side. Like Notre Dame plus 17.
Yeah.
That's kind of a nice look. Like I didn't even know that. I can't believe that spread is that high. That's crazy
Mhm.
to me because that should be a good game.
Yeah, that should be a good thing.
So yeah, I'd be all over the on the spread. I'd take Notre Dame all day long at plus 17.
Yes. I agree with you. I think Notre Dame is the way to go. I definitely wouldn't touch that over though. That's one that I
Yeah,
would.
no, I wouldn't touch it over either. I agree with you there. Are there
Okay.
are there any others that you see that jump out at you? Like I got a lot of NAs here, but I do have some. I keep
Clemson, Georgia Tech.
Clemson, Georgia Tech. What we
Mhm.
got there?
I love Clemson. I think Georgia Tech is going to be super overrated this year.
What's the line?
The line is, and I'm having issues with my site that I go to, but
I just don't seem to know how to operate my sites. It changes each time, but it's starting to work now.
yeah, so I don't have it. It's not
Okay, so
loading.
Clemson, Georgia Tech. What time is it?
That is Monday, September 5th at 5 p.m. So we'll talk about that one next week,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
I'm sure that's a good one. I love that game. And again, I think Clemson's going to take it. I just think Georgia Tech is super overrated this year. I think Clemson should do good. We'll see what the line uploads to be. I don't have it at this time, but we'll be more prepared and we'll have more information next week.
I do have one last one for you,
Mhm.
just because this team is intriguing to me every time, every year. I feel like because they're so weird. So Texas Longhorns versus University of Louisiana Monroe. So we got 30. Man, FanDuel has them 38.5 favorites. The over under is 66.5. Can we believe that Texas can actually put up that many points?
Mm,
Every year, Texas makes me want to sort of believe that they might be able to start putting up points, but Texas has sucked at putting up points for years.
I know.
So, can they actually put up that many points?
Mm, I don't know. I do think that the Longhorns are going to be playing better this year. I don't know about that many points though.
Yeah, I think it might be one that I would stay away from, but it's also one that like tempts me a little bit on the under, which I know you hate unders, but
Yeah. Mhm. I feel like that's one that I want to wait on.
66.5, man. That's
Yeah.
just it's
That's super high.
yeah, especially for a team that has not proven they can score points and Monroe, who the hell knows how much they'll score. So
We'll see though. Let's wait on that one and we'll touch on it again next week.
that sounds good. That's all I have for the episode, Jeanette. Do you have anything
Yes.
else for this episode?
No, I think I'm good. I think that we'll talk to our 4 viewers again next week.
Maybe we'll have 5 next week.
Maybe I'm gonna die if we only have two and we drop two. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
well,
but so I guess we'll talk some more next week.
let's end this with the proper way to end Bets and Brews. Cheers.
Cheers. Yay.
And I will see you again next week. And we will continue talking about bets and brews. Thank you
Yes.
for watching us or listening to us on
Yes.
the Bets and Brews Club. I'm Froze at Froze on Twitter, and our Twitter handle for the podcast is at Bets and Brews or at Bets and Brew because character limits.
Yeah.
Bets and Brew Club
Yes.
um, for Twitter. And then Jeanette, do you want to share the Facebook handle?
Uh, that is uh Bets and Brews Club. The Bets and Brews Club.
Okay,
Yes.
you'll
On
find it.
Facebook. Yes.
Once again, we will be better prepared next
Yes.
week. I swear.
Yes.
This is very
And
new.
we'll have, yes, and we'll have some more new beers next week. And Josh or Frobes will share with us his recipe, a recipe for something that you can have with the beer that he's drinking next week.
I've
How
got a
about that?
good one, and I actually think Jeanette will like it. So
Okay,
we'll talk
sounds
that next
good.
week.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, awesome. Well, it's been great first episode. Um, it we're not gonna lie, it was a struggle bus to start. We actually started this episode twice because I wasn't recording, but uh we'll get better.
Well, we're good now. We're good.
Yep,
We're good.
we're
Yes.
getting there. So just for everyone, we appreciate anyone who watches slash listens to us. Like we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate any feedback. You have the handles. Just hit us up.
But
Thanks.
join us. We promise it's
Yes.
going to be a lot of fun. We're going to ride through this whole football betting season, then hockey, finish up with baseball World Series. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Bet, and drink some brew.
Yes.
That's what we're all about.
Yes, we are.
All right, everyone. We're signing off for the night. Is great having a first episode with you guys. Hopefully you guys stick around for more. Please forgive us for any faux pas we had because we are live on tape, as they say, like for a lot of it. But we'll see you guys soon. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.